Welcome into this week's edition of the Chanticleer Football Update, week number 11, as the Chanticleers continue in the 2017 football season. Alongside interim head coach Jamie Chadwell, my name is Joe Cashin, and coach, another tough one the other night. A good Troy team came into Conway, and boy, right from the get-go, the opening kickoff goes back for a score, and then exchange of possessions, turnovers there. They got one, we got one. Kicked a field goal, and they hit us again, and it just kind of seemed like we were behind the eight ball all night.
Yeah, you can't spot anybody 14 points, let alone a good team. And we did spot them 14 points really, right out the first two kickoffs. And so one of those things that you practice for, you plan, and just didn't go well, obviously. And I thought our kids fought back and tried to answer, but just the hole was too big to dig out of.
Was it a question of their guy was just that good, or we just, weren't terribly disciplined on the kickoff return coverage? What were the factors there?
Well, I think he's pretty good.
Yeah.
He can run. I think once he got out, we didn't have anybody could catch him, so he could run. But when you put your scheme together, it's devised to kick it in a certain place because that helps your team out.
Right.
You devise it to kick it towards the goal line, not about the 12 or 15. So I didn't think we got the best kick. We had some guys miss some plays. We had a couple guys there that maybe got him down and didn't do it. Now, he was good. He's hard to tackle. But I think it was a mix of all those things. And it wasn't for lack of effort. They wasn't like, hey, I'm just going to, do this and we'll see what happens. The guys, we had a good plan together. Our special teams unit coordinators put a good plan together, but we didn't execute some of those. And what you're noticing, if you don't take care of your business, one guy, there's some of these elite guys have some pretty good players. They make one guy miss, they can go the distance.
And a big thing, too, on kickoff return is if the guy can come up the field and catch it on the go, instead of retreating or instead of having to go laterally side to side. I mean, you get that momentum going. Guy can see ahead of him. He gets some blocking set up. He can take it the distance.
He can, and your kickoff's designed to get over 5 seconds of hang time, give you guys plenty of time to run down there. And there's a lot that goes into that. The bottom line, we could get technical and do this whole show. I think we're the only ones to pay attention anyway. But we didn't do a good job kicking. We didn't do a good job covering, and we didn't do a good job tackling. And it hurt us twice on that. And unfortunately, that put us, down in a big hole, and it was hard to overcome.
Right. Down 28-10 at the half, Coach. You came out in the second half, however, and moved down the field, 82-yard drive. And, Chris Jones catches the big ball there from Kilton, who I thought had a pretty good game. And, we got back into it there for a minute.
We did. You mentioned earlier, I'll go back to the first half real quick. They score. We drive right down and have a play inside the 5-yard line where even if it's incomplete, you got a chance to kick field goal, turn the ball over.
Right, exactly.
I thought it was a big play because we didn't answer right away. But we do. We get the second half. We're down 28-10, 28-17 out of the gate. We scored a touchdown with Chris. We get a penalty after the touchdown there that sets us back, which was a unacceptable penalty. And so now we have to kick off from the 20-yard line, and so they get great field position. We get a stop. We're backed up inside the 4. We get a huge first down and get a penalty on third down. That's I'm still looking to see what that call was. That really we had a chance to get a first down, be at the 25. That was a big play in the game. We're down 28-17. We get that first down, miss it. Really thought about faking the punt on the fourth down there on about the 18-yard line because I felt like it was such a pivotal time of the game because they were going to get good field position. We didn't fake it. They got good position. They scored. So you're down 28-17, have a chance, and that's 35-17, and you're playing catch-up again.
And you did go for it a couple of times on our side of the 50 on fourth down conversions and got a couple of them. You got to roll the dice in those situations.
Well, you do. You felt like they're pretty good, and you want to make sure you're trying to match their scores, want to keep them off the field. And the thing that at least we were on the fourth down, they were makeable. We had a couple third and shorts we didn't make, but we were able to get them on fourth down. So we were doing pretty well on first and second down. And it's one of those that, hey, let's go. And we made them, and we were able to sustain some drives. And on the other end, they had 2 fourth and longs that they made that ended up in touchdowns. You give up 14 points on kick returns, but if you just get them off fourth down, you take away 14 points, that game's right back even again. So third and fourth downs were a big deal in the game, and we didn't do well enough on those on either side of the ball.
They were 7 of 13 on third down and 2 of 2 on subsequent fourth down conversions. So really 9 of 14 when you get right down to it.
Yeah, and the 2 fourth downs were just, it's not like it was fourth and short, it's fourth and long. That was the disappointing part. We had them in some good situations, and I think at 7 of the 13, I think over half of them were third and long, and so you feel good about that, and they converted them. So frustrating day in a lot of areas for us.
Troy went on to win it 42-17. Coach, I really think that defense from what I've seen this year, might be the best that we've seen, and in my opinion, is the best defense. Their front, number 90 was hard to block. Number 47 made some plays out there. You know, they were what they were cracked up to be, I thought, defensively.
Yeah, they're good. They do a good job. I thought you mentioned 90. They just rallied to the ball. They don't beat themselves a lot. We had some chances at some plays.
Yeah.
I mentioned that drive out of third down. We get the penalty on second down. We have a guy running wide open for a 90, probably a 89, 91-yard touchdown. I mean, nobody within 10 yards of him, and we get sacked, can't get it off. So we had some chances at some big plays we missed that could have maybe put us some more points, but they make you earn it, you know, and if you do make a mistake, they smell some blood. And I think there in the fourth quarter when late third, fourth, when they knew we had to pass it and some of those things, they just pinned their ears back and they got after a quarterback. Our quarterback got hit a little bit more than normal, and I think got rattled a little bit in that. So they're a good team. They're a good team, and it'll be interesting to see who wins between them and Arkansas State.
Troy wins at 42-17 over Coastal. We'll come back and tell you who the players of the game were on Saturday night. We'll do it right after this. Back here on the Chanticleer football update as Coastal falls to Troy 42-17 on Saturday night. Coach, we had some outstanding players in the game despite the loss. I thought Oshamar Abercrombie, he got the offensive player of the game. I thought he played well coming back from injury.
He did. You know, he's been banged up the last probably 2 or 3 weeks, probably the whole year, truthfully. You know, but he ran the ball hard. He got us some big conversions on some third and fourth downs, and thought he did a nice job. And out of the backfield in the passing game, he had a good all-around football game.
Tony Chesley got the defensive player of the game.
I thought Tony did a nice job of covering. He came up and made some nice plays in the run game. They tried to see if he could tackle him, and he did a nice job there. And really locked down one of their top receivers. I thought probably his best overall game.
And then on special teams, Kion Tyler, who tied a school record for most kickoff returns in a single season with Devin Brown. He's awfully close to getting that yardage mark as well. He was a special teams player of the game.
He had a great game. I mean, they gave us some good field position all game long. I thought we called it the soul team, and I thought our soul team best game they've had, most consistent. Every return we had a chance to get a big play, and he made some people miss. And you know, when he can do that, and you can get good field position. As we've talked, our average field position this year has been terrible. Has been terrible, and so for him to be able to do that and give us a fighting chance was a big difference, or a good shot in the arm for the offense.
Kilton Anderson got the start the other night. He threw a couple of touchdown passes. What's your assessment of how he played? You
know, I thought he did some nice things. I thought he stood in there and made some throws in some key situations. I think, you know, he missed some we'd like to have back. I think we blew a couple protections early, and he got hit a little bit, got rattled. They were doing some different things, you know, up front than Arkansas was, so it wasn't as the same stuff. And so I think part of his experience of learning, he's got to learn how you're going to get banged up some. You got to still step in there and make some throws. But you know, what people forget, even though he's a junior, this is basically his, I think, 8th or 9th game he's played in college football.
Yeah.
And so it's still relatively young. He's learning a lot. And for what we're asking him to do and the things that he's seen, I think he's doing he's giving us a chance every week. He makes some nice play with his feet. But there's some turnovers, some things that looking the right side on certain things that he can control, that he can get better at, and he will. And it's going to be a learning experience with him, but I'm pleased with the direction he's heading. And he's a competitive kid. We got to teach him when to slide. You know, he slides short of the first down.
Yeah, he did that one time, didn't he?
Yeah, he said he was looking on the other sideline and saw the little, you know, thought it was first down. So, but he's trying to lead this team, which is what you want.
Yeah, and then Shane Johnson with 11 tackles led the team the other night. And you talk about a guy who's really just battled through a lot of injuries this year. He's banged up. He's a senior. Thought he played fairly well.
Yeah, Shane's been pretty consistent the last few weeks. He has. He's been in red about every week, but he goes out and he fights and he plays hard, and you know, and he's been a good leader for us there on the defensive side of the football.
So we'll take a look at Idaho when we come back on the Chanticleer football update right after this. The Chanticleers get in the charter plane on Friday and go almost 2,800 miles, Coach, out to the left coast, out to Idaho. First time in that state to play the Idaho Vandals in the Kibbe Dome Sun Belt Conference game. Give us a little breakdown on this football team.
Well, they've had 16 days off. They last time they played was a long time ago, so they're probably going to know our offense, defense, special teams better than us. They got a really good quarterback who's an NFL prospect. He can really throw it. Big up front team on both sides of the ball. They're going to try to pound us and then let him play action it. Defensively, they're led by their linebackers. They do a nice job. They've got a couple linebackers that I think are top 5 in tackles in the conference. They do a nice job there. It'll be a tough matchup for us, but one that I don't think we're going to be out-athleted. I think we can match up in a lot of ways. The challenge is going to be for us. Those guys are hungry to play. They hadn't played in 16 days. We're obviously struggling through a season. Are we going to be motivated? Are we going to have the character of what you need to go across country and show up and try to get a victory and not mail it in? And so that's our challenge as coaches this weekend as our football team.
That's a good point too. How do you motivate the team like this right now? 1-9. I know there's got to be a lot of down faces, a lot of guys kind of feeling down a little bit about the season. Of course, I'm sure some of the fans are too. But you got to hang in there and you got to go almost 3,000 miles to go play a game. How do you keep the guys up?
Well, you hope. We've talked about it. The why. What's our why? Why are we doing what we're doing?
Right.
And you hope that is enough. You hope it's because you got your brothers that you've sacrificed for the last 12 months to play 12 games. And you only get our seniors only have 2 left, and most of them aren't going to ever play again. And so what do you want to leave legacy-wise as far as for the guys that are underneath you that you're leaving here? Are you going to finish through? Are you going to show everything's important? Are you going to, forget it, mail it in. It's just about me, and hopefully to motivate the teams about each other and represent Coastal Carolina the best we do. And that's our mission as coaches.
Sure.
I've told everybody, so that should be a motivation enough.
From a logistical standpoint, you go all that way, 3-hour difference in time zones, all the way out to the Pacific time zones. Logistically, how do you try to prepare for that? I know that the team is going out a day earlier than normal on Thursday. How do you get the guys, their clocks right, so to speak, to get ready to play this game?
That's going to be the biggest challenge. I don't know if you can get it right. Obviously, we are going out early.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that Friday, we're going to try to get them on a routine that's similar to those things, get them try to get used to it. It'll be a little adjustment Friday, and I think, from everything we've studied, been told, once you're getting through that day, that next day is sort of when you adjust to it. So
right.
We're hoping getting out there Thursday, understanding the difference. I think we're leaving here, let's say at 6 o'clock, and it's 3 o'clock out there. We won't get there at 11 o'clock our time.
Right.
It'll be 8. So hopefully they'll get used to it through that night. We'll go to their dome, get used to the dome. We'll run around. The main thing I'm more a little bit worried about is just the jet lag of the 5-hour trip.
Sure, yeah.
More than anything. And so we got to make sure that Friday we do a lot of running around to get our guys where well, Coach, we had airplane legs or whatever those things. We got to make sure we had no excuses to play well Saturday.
Injuries, what kind of update can you give us on that? What about Tyler Keene? What about Chance? Any chance that we see him or some of these other guys who've been banged up lately?
Tyler looks like he'll still be out. He's tried to grip a football this week and just not been where it needs to be. We still got a day or so to go, but doesn't look good. Chance is back practicing now, so we're trying to give him some reps. We got to determine whether we're going to take him or not, and he's not done anything in about 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So he'll be obviously rusty, but when he's healthy, he's got some ability to do some things. Kyon Tyler's back banged up. He might be a game time decision. He's not looking good whether he'll play or not. Quay Paul not looking good whether he'll play or not. So some of these injuries are piling up, and Omar Black, who still has missed the last couple weeks, he's probably going to be out again from his injury. So we got a lot going on, a lot banged up, and we got some young guys that need to step up and play, and that's where we're at, and we got to make the most of it.
Coastal at Idaho, that is a 5 o'clock Eastern start, 2 o'clock on the Pacific Coast. We will be on the air on the Chanticleer Sports Network beginning 1 hour prior to kickoff at 4 p.m. Eastern. So, Coach, best of luck. Let's go get a win.
Yes, sir.
Out in Idaho, a place we've never been.
Moscow, Idaho.
All right. We'll see you right back here next time on the Chanticleer Sports Update.